Hello. My name is Jess Marie. Welcome to yesterday's Coffee Grounds. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about midday energy crashes. Now, I am not an expert. I kind of know what I'm talking about, but I think y'all know what I mean by midday energy crashes, where for me it's 3 o'clock every single day. It's like, I need to lay down, I need to take a nap, I need my son to lay down with me and take a nap. He does not nap. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to, one, regulate my sleep so that I hopefully don't experience that as often. So a little bit about myself and what my morning routine looks like to get up to 3 o'clock. Sometimes I usually try to wake up by 7 in the morning. Today was 6:30. Do some kind of workout or move my body. I think that's so important. First thing in the morning, move the body, put on a nice song and just flow to it. Within You, Without You by the Beatles is a great one where you can just kind of move your hips or move your shoulders. It just feels really good to feel something out, work that out, especially depending on your job or what your day looks like on a daily basis. I'm picking up a 32-pound small human every single day, multiple times a day, and squatting with him and doing all sorts of things that my body needs to be up to par to move him in the way that he wants to be moved. Swung, thrown onto the bed, lifted up in the air. We're doing all kinds of activities, right? So think about what you need first thing in the morning. My kind of goal is do something for the body, for the mind, for the spirit. So body is always some kind of movement. For the mind is some kind of reading, something that will digest in the brain. And also, this is a bad habit of mine, not checking my phone first thing in the morning. And it's so hard because I swipe it open to avoid the alarm. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna check my emails. And if there's nothing in the emails, that dopamine cycle is like, ooh, mama, you should go check something else. So then I go and check something else, and then it just kind of leads into this whole bad habit of, no, what I should be doing is, this is both for body and spirit, is reflect on my dream, because I get very vivid visual dreams, and usually there's some kind of meaning, there's some kind of message in my belief to my dreams, and they're very, very clear when they come through. And I ask to be spoken to through dreams, and I get a lot of people come into my dreams and give me information. Dreams are very sacred for me. So sometimes I just intentionally mess that up by, on my phone, not even scrolling. It's not even AM scrolling. It's looking at the notifications on multiple apps and replying to things that I didn't reply to the night before. So figuring that out. Don't do it, Jessica Marie. Don't do it. Yes, so doing something for the body, mind, and spirit. And spirit can be something, I brought this little book out, just a short little read. You can get anything that's kind of like this, where it's a daily quote. This is an Alcoholics Anonymous book that is also Christian-based. Don't ask me about my religion. I don't know, and I'm not in a position to talk about it, I guess, because I don't know. But it is based around God and having a relationship with Him to become and live a sober life. So in here, there's, at the top, you can see there's a thought for the day, meditation for the day, and a prayer for the day. And I love that. I love that it's fairly simple. It gives something for both the mind to read and digest, because not always does it make sense, so you got to reread it and really make it make sense to you and your brain. And then sitting in a prayer or meditation and envisioning yourself look in a certain way. Imagine that. Imagine just, what do I want in my life? What do I want for today? What do I want? And what have I not been doing to achieve that? So multiple things to do first thing in the morning. And that's just, it doesn't have to take long. This all can take half an hour. I'm telling you, you can listen to a song, do a little bit of body movements. That reading there takes 2 minutes to do if you really want to just get through it. And then sit in meditation, sit in some kind of silence thought before you get to the hectic overthinking throughout your day, right? Prime yourself to have a good day, because you want to have a good day. I hope you're out there thinking that you want to have a good day. I do. I know I want to have a good day, and I know I want the people around me to have a good day. My mom, every morning, she walks, listens to music, and I'm sure she evaluates things in her life that are bothering her. Body, mind, and spirit. Maybe not as much of the spirit, but even being outside in nature, she goes through the trails walking. That I would consider a spiritual act of connecting with the birds, the trees, the sun as it rises. I would call that a spiritual act, and that's just me. And you can really stretch that out if you so choose, but that's just my personal belief. Going out for a walk, first thing in the morning, in the elements, beautiful. It's beautiful. So, coming back to midday crashes, from what I understand, it's mostly a drop in blood sugar levels, and one of the things I've kind of considered with myself of why I get a midday crash is I drink way too much caffeine, far too much caffeine, and I'm trying really hard to combat that. So I've always loved coffee culture, and I will sit with somebody for 3 hours and drink coffee. I will drink pots of coffee, and that's just always been my culture. And because imagine I was a student in college, we were broke, but we always had coffee. I lived on a coffee cigarette diet for a long time, and now that I don't smoke, I don't really drink, coffee is a huge thing in my life, but it really destroys my system. It has a negative effect on my body that I can feel, I can notice. So right now I'm at a cup and a half a day. When I get to my first half cup of coffee, I top it up. I'm like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, and that's okay. I'm trying to not affect that. I do notice I love having fruits in the morning. I do love having fruits. I'm like, is that what it is? Like, I don't want to be relying on cheap carbs to impact my mood. When I was drinking a bit heavier, pretty heavy actually, for me, for my life, I would drink around 1:32 in the afternoon. And that would avoid that crash, but then affect my nighttime. So now I'm trying to find something in this time window to be able to combat that. Exercise sometimes works for me, but not always. I got a recommendation to take ginger. So I think I might have fresh ginger at 12 in the afternoon, because ginger has a blood sugar stabilizing effect to it. I don't know the science behind it. Please don't quote me. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a girl chatting about things that I'm trying to figure out when it comes to midday crashes and things that I can do. Because yeah, I can do 10 burpees and I'm not tired after 10 burpees. And I can lift and swing and throw my son up into the air. But it's so mentally tough. It is so mentally tough. And like, I know once I start doing it, I feel great. I feel fine. I was in a counseling phone appointment yesterday, and I thought I was gonna fall asleep. It was at 3:00, and he's like, how are you doing? And I'm like, this is my midday crash, and I'm feeling very freaking tired. You can probably see like how tired I look, but that's okay. I'm not worried about what I look like. I don't care. If I look tired, it's fine. That's just my life, and I'd rather just look like who I am than spend the time, do my makeup, and live with that throughout the day. If I do happen to do exercise, then I'm sweating in my makeup, and I'm too old for that now, and then I gotta take it off at the end of the day. I don't got time for all that. That's like 20 minutes of my time. I like doing that one day a week, and that's it. But yeah, I'm basically just trying to find out ways to combat that midday crash. And I don't know if it has to do with eating times in my day. I used to do so well. When this all started happening, it was when I started boxing. And when I was training for boxing, right before then, I was fasting from 6 to 10, sometimes 12 in the morning, depending on how I was feeling. And then I was really crashing hard, because when I first started boxing training, if you know anything about boxing, it uses a high amount of calories. There's a lot of impulsive movements or high intensity movements. So you're using and exerting your carb stores. And if you deplete your carb stores, your body is going to crash. That blood sugar level is going to crash. And I was experiencing that on a daily basis. And I reached out to some friends and I was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, well, one of them was actually like, hey, I think you got to be mindful with how much you're eating. You should start. She was telling me all about calorie counting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's because she's a bodybuilder. She's a bodybuilder personal trainer. And I'm like, nope, calorie counting does not work in my life. Weighing myself on a daily basis does not work in my life. I eat what makes me feel good, and I'm very conscious already of what I eat, and I'm very intuitive with what I eat. I do believe in intuitive eating. And if your body says, if you pick something up and your body says, no, you shouldn't eat that, and you're like, fuck you, I want to eat this candy, and then you feel like shit. I don't know what to tell you. It's the same with coffee for me. My body tells me, do not drink coffee in the afternoon, and I do it, and I feel awful. So, intuitive eating. Listen to your body when it says, hey, no, probably not. So I asked these gals, and they're like, you're probably just not eating enough. And oh my goodness, the difference that it made when I stopped fasting. And it's actually, it's really disappointing because it's hard for me to now do a 24-hour fast when I feel like I need to remove some things from my body, when I feel like my body is really needing that. It is so much harder to do that now because I'm not doing those 16 to 18 hour fast periods, and going from not eating between, let's say, 9 at night till 7 in the morning. I don't know how much time that is, but it is so difficult. So definitely making sure I'm eating enough for my lifestyle, because I do high intensity training. I am with a son who is high energy all the time, making sure that I do have slow release carbs and that fiber as well, to really make sure that it's being spread equally throughout the day, and not just what I call cheap carbs, which is highly processed sugars and things that have hidden sugars in it. We don't eat a lot of processed food anyway, but there is a lot of hidden sugars in different sauces, different foods that claim to be healthy, and they're really just ghosting you. But I don't know if I really talked much about what I wanted to talk about today, but it's just kind of something I'm going through. So I'm going to try some fresh ginger today. I did pretty good at going to bed at a reasonable time last night for the time that I get up. And yeah, I'm just going to get on with my day and pray that I do not crash in energy levels, because I'm always busy on Mondays. We go out in the mornings, we clean up the house, we do some baking, we get ourselves ready for the week. And then I have counseling tonight, I have boxing tonight. Sometimes I do a women's Bible study, but it's gonna interfere with counseling, so that's where I'm at. And yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I know sometimes I kind of ramble and just chat to chat, but I love this community, and I thank y'all so much. And get some sleep, eat some good food, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!